It's somewhere in the small hours, 3, maybe 4 in the morning. You half wake, not all the way, just enough, and you feel it. That warm, heavy weight pressed against your legs, the slow rise and fall of their breathing in the dark. You don't even open your eyes. You just know they're there, and you drift back under. You've done this 1,000 nights. It feels like the most ordinary thing in the world. But what your dog is actually doing in that bed beside you, especially now, especially at this stage of your life, is far more deliberate and far more tender than almost anyone realizes. And there's one part of it that even the people who love this ritual never talk about. Because here's what most people assume. They think the dog sleeps there because the bed is soft or warm, or because they've been a little spoiled over the years. And sure, warm is nice, but that's the surface. That's maybe 1/10 of it. The truth is, where a dog chooses to sleep is one of the most honest decisions they ever make. An animal is never more defenseless than when it's fast asleep. So the spot they pick, and the person they pick to sleep beside, that is not a casual thing. That's them telling you, without a single word, where in the whole wide world they feel safest. And after 60, the answer to that question is very often you. So stick with me, because I'm going to show you 3 things tonight. What their sleeping position is really saying, and there's one position almost everybody reads completely wrong. The one honest thing about sharing your bed that matters more the older you get, the part those sweet little videos always leave out. And right at the end, the deepest truth of all. The night something quietly flips between you and your dog. Once you see it, you'll never look at your own bedtime the same way again. And honestly, if you're the kind of person who lies there in the dark wondering what your dog is really thinking, then you and I are already on the same page. Just subscribe. This is what we do here every single week. Quietly, gently, no rush. Stay with me. So let's start with why they chose you. Not your partner, not the grandkids when they visit. You. Dogs are built to read calm. They feel the temperature of a room, the mood in it, long before anything actually happens. A house full of noise and rushing and slamming doors keeps a dog a little switched on, a little ready. But a quieter life? A steady morning, a predictable evening, the same gentle rhythm day after day after day? To a dog, that isn't boring. That's paradise. That's the safest signal there is. And that's the quiet gift of this stage of your life. Your slower pace, your settled routine, the calm you've spent decades earning. Your dog feels every bit of it. You have become the most predictable, most reassuring thing in their entire world. So when they pad over at night and press themselves against you, they aren't just being affectionate. They're choosing the one place where their whole body finally gets to switch off. Your scent, the sound of your breathing, the warmth of you, it all whispers the same thing to them. Nothing bad happens here. I can finally rest. Now watch what they do right before they sleep. You know the little routine, the circling, the shuffling, the fussing with the blanket like they're fluffing a pillow that won't sit right. And then, that big, heavy sigh as they finally flop down. Most people think that sigh is nothing. It's everything. That breath is your dog physically letting go of the entire day. All the little tensions an animal carries around, every sound they tracked, everything they kept half an eye on, they pour it out in that one long exhale. And then something lovely happens. They start to match you. Their breathing slows down to find yours. Their body sinks into your stillness. That circling, by the way, is ancient. It's a leftover from a time when their wild cousins trod down the long grass to build a safe nest before dark. Your dog is still building a nest, on your bed, right beside you. Because to them, the safest nest that has ever existed is the one with you in it. Okay, the part everyone actually wants to know. What does it mean, the way they sleep on you? Let's be honest about this, because there's an awful lot of nonsense floating around online. But some of it is very real. When your dog sleeps pressed right up against you, back to you, leaning their full weight in, that's the simplest, deepest one of all. That's social sleeping. It's exactly what they do with family they trust completely. They just want to feel you there all night long. When they flop onto their back, all 4 legs in the air, belly exposed to the ceiling, pay attention, because this one is beautiful. The belly is the one part a dog instinctively guards. It's where they are softest, most vulnerable, least protected. So a dog who sleeps belly up beside you is saying something they could never fake. I don't need to protect myself here. Not from you. Never from you. When they curl up down at your feet instead, that is not them loving you any less. That's just the balance they prefer. close enough to feel you, with a clear view of the rest of the room. Comfort and a little quiet watchfulness, all at the same time. And when they shift in the middle of the night to face the door, that's the old guarding instinct stirring. They've quietly put themselves between you and whatever might come through it. They gave up the warm spot to take the watch. Hold on to that one, because it leads somewhere I think might genuinely stay with you. Now here's something most people have completely backwards. They think this whole thing runs in one direction, the loyal dog, watching over the sleepy human. But it runs both ways, and the truth of it is honestly lovely. When your dog lies against you and slows their breathing to match yours, you're calming them. Your steady rhythm settles their nervous system right down. But at the very same moment, they are calming you. That warm, breathing weight against your side sends a signal deep into your body that it's safe to let go too. Your shoulders drop, your heart rate eases. The whole day loosens its grip on you. You're not just letting them sleep there. The two of you are quietly settling each other down. Two nervous systems, in the dark, teaching one another how to rest. And that shared calm, that matters more and more the older we get. Which brings me to the honest part. The bit those feel-good videos skip right over. Because as wonderful as all of this is, and it truly is wonderful, there are two real things worth knowing once you're past 60. The first is your sleep itself. Our sleep naturally gets lighter as we age. We surface more easily, wake more often. And a dog who shifts, scratches, stretches, or hops down for a drink of water at 2 in the morning can break up your rest without you ever quite noticing, until you're dragging yourself through the next day wondering why. And poor sleep, over time, touches everything. Your mood, your memory, your health. The second one matters even more, and almost nobody ever says it out loud. It's getting up in the dark with a dog on the bed. That half-asleep trip to the bathroom at night, with a dog underfoot or suddenly leaping down right in front of you. That is one of the most common ways older adults end up taking a fall. And a fall, at this stage of life, is no small thing. So here's the loving fix, and the beauty of it is, it keeps everything you cherish about this. A good, comfortable dog bed, set down right beside your own. Close enough that they still have your scent, your sound, your presence all night long. They stay safely in your orbit. You both sleep deeper, and nobody is tripping over anybody in the dark. You do not have to choose between the bond and your own safety. You really can have both. One more honest thing while we're here. If the closeness suddenly changes, if a dog who always slept happily at your feet is now glued to your side, restless, pressing in, shadowing your every step, please don't just brush it off as extra love. When something hurts, or something feels wrong inside them, dogs come closer. They go looking for the safest body they know. New, sudden, anxious clinginess is worth a gentle mention to your vet. Because love settles a dog down, worry makes them cling. And learning to tell those two apart is its own quiet kind of caring for them. And that thing I promised you, the night something flips between the two of you? It's right here. Stay with me. For most of your dog's life, they have been your guardian in the dark. You saw it earlier, the way they turn to face the door, the ear that twitches at every distant sound, the part of them that never fully drops off because some ancient little piece of them is still standing watch. They've spent years keeping one eye on the night, for you. But here's the thing almost no one ever notices. As the years roll on, as your dog goes gray around the muzzle, as the bond between you settles into something deeper than any word could ever hold, something quietly reverses. The watchfulness begins to fade. The dog who once woke at every creak of the floorboards starts to sleep heavily now. Deeply. Completely. Limbs sprawled out, belly soft, utterly dead to the world right beside you. And sometimes people worry about that. Is he sleeping too much? Is something wrong with him? But very often, it's the exact opposite. It's the most profound trust an animal is capable of giving. Because a dog only ever stops standing guard when they finally, truly believe they no longer have to. When the world beside this one person has become so safe, so certain, so completely without threat, that they can lay every last defense down and simply rest. They have handed the watch over to you, and without ever once deciding to, you take it. You become the one who listens for them now. You notice the new stiffness in their hips on a cold morning. You slow your pace a little on the walk so they can keep up. You find yourself lying awake some nights just listening to them breathe, the very same way they once lay awake listening for you. That's the real secret of the dog who sleeps beside you. It was never only loyalty. It's a watch, quietly, gently passed from them to you, over a whole lifetime of nights. They guarded you while you were strong, and now they trust you, completely, to guard them. That is not a pet sleeping on a bed. That is the deepest promise two souls can ever make to each other. This is the kind of thing we sit with on this channel. The quiet, wordless stuff that passes between you and your dog when no one else is watching. If any of this landed somewhere tender for you tonight, then you already belong here. Stay with us. There's so much more of this coming, and I'd love for you to be here for it. So tonight, when you turn out the light and you feel that familiar weight settle in against you, pause for just 1 second before you drift off. Because that dog did not end up there by accident. Out of everywhere they could possibly be, every corner of the house, every soft and quiet spot, they chose the few inches right next to you. Again, the way they do every single night, like it's the only place that has ever truly made sense to them. You might feel, at this stage of life, that the world has gone a little quieter around you, that fewer people seem to need you the way they once did. But there is a living creature lying beside you right now who has built their entire sense of safety around one simple fact: you. Your breathing is their lullaby. Your presence is the thing that lets them close their eyes at all. You are, to them, the safest place that has ever existed in the whole world. And maybe that's why these nights feel different now than they did when you were younger. Back then, a dog on the bed was just nice. Now, it's something closer to grace. A warm, breathing reminder that you are still someone's entire world, that you are still chosen every single night without a single word ever being spoken. So let them stay. Or set their bed right beside yours, if that's what keeps you both safe and rested. The shape of it honestly doesn't matter. What matters is the truth underneath it, that the two of you found each other, and somewhere along the way decided the dark was a great deal less frightening together than it ever was apart. That's not just sleep. That's a promise the two of you quietly renew every night. And when you finally close your eyes and you hear that slow, steady breathing settle in beside you, you can rest knowing you are loved by something that asks for nothing in this world but to be near you, and that you are not, and never will be, alone in the dark.